Ashe So Tribe. Sending you guys so much light, love, and positive energy. Hope you guys are literally manifesting the life that you desire and attracting everything you want like a magnet. Because who could do it better than you, boo? Nobody, right? It's like that kind of energy. We're coming through with some live downloads this evening, okay? These are going to resonate. So, sit back and enjoy. We've been getting some very heavy downloads from Source, and I hope you guys, enjoy them. They've been helping us grow, and hopefully they will also assist and guide you on your path and journey. And of course, for anyone new, I am the High Priestess.
And myself, the Hierophant.
And together we are elemental beings, okay? So, Ashe to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello.
We start off by saying Ashe to the ancestors.
Ashe.
And all praise to the Most High.
That's right.
How's
all
everyone
praise.
doing? I hope everyone is doing well out there. We have some downloads from Source, and I'm taking the time out to write things down a little bit more. So there's going to be no tarot during this session. It's just purely downloads, collective downloads.
Mm-hmm.
So we're actually going to purify with water, and then we're just going to hop right in. By water, I connect with spirit through pure intent. Oh boy, it's always that. And go.
We've been feeling a lot of energy of dehydration, so make sure you stay hydrated, Divine Being. Okay.
No doubt. So we decided to do this a little bit differently than we normally do it. We're just gonna go back and forth with the downloads instead of me just coming out and saying mine's and hers, just saying hers. We're just gonna go back and forth and take turns. So I'll kick it off. My first download is DoorDash Karma. Right? DoorDash Karma. And the download is it's not complex, but I'm going to just give it to you like Spirit gave it to me. So it was a time in my life, y'all, when, I came into, let's just say I came into a good fortune. And I remember that time I used to order a lot of food. I used to be in like remote locations, rooms and all that. And I used to just order a lot of food from DoorDash. And the way I used to see it was I will order something and maybe let's just say it costs $20. So by the time I would pay it through DoorDash, let's just say it was like $35, right? Oh no, let's just say it was like $29, right? $20 meal, $29. So then it would give me an option to tip the driver. Sometimes I would be like, man, I ain't tipping that. I paid enough. It's like I want the meal for $20, and then DoorDash got me paying $29, and then there's an option to tip the driver, right? And me just being petty, like I'm speaking this download because it's applicable. But I remember just being in a petty mind state, right? For no reason at all. And when I did decide to tip, I really didn't have any inner workings of how DoorDash worked. I had never been a DoorDash driver. So nevertheless, I would just get, I was a very, very meager giver to DoorDash employees. Now, lo and behold, karma switched things around in my life. So I landed in the energy of having to do DoorDash to actually survive. Right? Here's what karma did to me. I remember going to drop an order off, right? And the people didn't tip me. And on top of them not tipping me, when I left, they reported to DoorDash that they never even got their food, right? So I'm looking at it like now, like, yo, come on. I'm like, I broke my neck to get over there, drive over there real fast, you know, because I'm doing DoorDash and Instacart.
Right.
So I'm trying to get there in the time frame. So I get there, I pull off. It's like no tip at all. And DoorDash was only paying a couple dollars. So it's like, all right, cool, bet. They ain't tipped me. So then as I'm leaving and I'm doing my little thing, DoorDash sent me a notification saying this person never even got their food, right?
Oh, I know you was here.
So now it's like, oh
Double
boy.
bad, right?
And this was at the beginning of my journey, y'all. So, you know, what's up, Will? Love you too, man. So you know what happened? I was so vexed, y'all. It was hot. This was last summer. I was hot. It was vexed. Nothing was going my way. And then I was running into a series of people who didn't tip. And you know what Spirit let me know? This is your karma. Right? I say that to say that, DoorDash karma, my story. So, you know, as I worked it off and I began to embrace the fact that it was my karma, things became easier. But I will tell you this about karma, right? DoorDash karma and reference. I may have not a tip like 5 or 6 people, but that karma came back from like 20 or 30 people, right? Because karma is here to teach us a lesson. So, you know, when it first was happening, it never dawned on me that this is my karma. I'm just thinking, well, DoorDash worked like this. Don't nobody really give nobody nothing. It wasn't that. It was the divine putting me through a sequence, a phase of life to gain an understanding. So from my DoorDash karma download, I want you to remember that when you dealing with people that, do a service for you, learn how to tip them. It creates a karma for you, right? That's dharmic, right? Because it's you giving extra, right? And it's like, always remember, Spirit saying, a tip is required, right? In order for you to keep good karma, it's required of you to tip, right? So when you don't tip, it's petty. And when you don't tip, you create a karma where somebody will come along and you'll need a tip from them. See, when I say the word tip, think about tip. Tip is a word that extends beyond the exchange of money. You may need a tip or a word. You may need to be tipped off about information. And because you didn't tip, that tip won't be there for you. So that's DoorDash karma. That was my first download.
Okay, that was a good one. You know, I think it's very important, speaking about things of that nature, because I've been in the industry of serving, customer service, and things of that nature. And I do know how hard these individuals work. And, I've always been a person, if I could drop a bag on you, I'm telling you I would, right? Like, because I know the energy of the people that do these things. So kudos to all the workers that are out here working very, very hard to make sure that everyone's everyday life is easy. We appreciate you. God bless you. And, we wish you much abundance in your journey. Okay. So my first download today for you guys. Woo, child. I lost it today, y'all. Okay. I totally lost it today. I literally allowed the energy of evil to trap and consume my energy today. I had placed a pretty pricey order online, and my order was supposed to be ready at a certain time. And when I didn't receive the email that the order was ready, I went into the store, and as soon as I even went to mention what I was coming in there for, the lady was pretty rude to me, and I could feel her evil, and I fell right into the trap because she became combative, and I call myself a responder. Okay. I don't go out there looking for any kind of energy, but I do respond, right? When I feel it's necessary. And today, you know, it was ego and it was pride because it really wasn't necessary. I know exactly who I am and what I represent, and you know, I really allowed this energy to take me there. And it wasn't that she even interrupted my spirit, because I'll be honest with you, it's pretty easy for me to separate people from my spirit, right? It's pretty easy for me I keep a guard up, just like I tell you guys, my spirit is guarded, but I'm human, right? So because I'm human, you know, I have flaws, and like I said today, I lost it. You know, when this lady began to be rude and she laughed in my face, I'm like, you know, now I feel like you playing with me. So, I just lost it. It wasn't that I did anything that I would normally do, because back in the day, I'll be ready to like act crazy. But it was just the energy of me just even exchanging words with her. I kept trying to be like, you know, I'm done with you. I'm done. And she wanted to keep going. And me being who I am, I should have just walked all the way away, because my silence is very powerful. I continued to engage with her, which I knew what she wanted. She wanted my energy. She was evil, you know. You ever had the energy of, okay, I'm gonna tell you how it was. So when she was speaking to me, she laughed, right? She snickered, right, like that. You know, it was like the energy of, you ever had somebody like, you ever been in a relationship and the person may have been being unfaithful, and you as a unascended divine being that hasn't really woken up yet, you go and ask the person like, are you cheating, knowing that you are intellectually intuitive, right? And the person, when you ask the person, they laugh. You had that happen before, right?
Yeah.
It's like that snicker. It's the energy
evil.
of evil.
It's
It's evil.
Yeah.
It's like that laugh that, right? Because I didn't see anything funny, because, you know, I paid a pretty pricey amount for the order and it should have been ready. But, you know, the point is, you know, divine being, I want to use myself as an example. These energies are out there. Evil literally wants to trap and consume us and get us out of our divinity, right? So I literally had to bring myself back out of this energy and, you know, be able to be prepared for what we had going on. But I feel like it's very important to know that this energy is, you know, going around and really trying to attack divine beings. And, you know, it's almost like a spider web, right? You being caught in a spider web. So protect your spirit, right? And, you know, I would say, you know, certain situations we have to learn to pick and choose our battles. So begin walking away when it's just not worth it, because the energy of evil just wants to exchange energy, right? To throw you off of your vibration, to get you upset and out of character, right? Like that kind of energy. And for me, I think it was a very important lesson, because we are, whether we like to admit it or not, him and I are seen in the public, right? So we really have to be careful how we handle situations. And you guys should as well, right? Because we want to make sure that we're representing ourselves correctly. So know that this energy is surrounding you. And when this energy tries to grab and grasp you, you know what I'm saying? Do a little prayer, do a little meditation, walk away, whatever you need to do. But don't allow that energy to rob you.
That was real. That was real. To come and share, like, you know, what you went through in real lifetime is very real and it's very beneficial. And this is the type of energy that the collective should begin to resonate with. Because you have to understand, collective means quantum energy. What that means is that our thoughts, collectively, we feel. The empathies, the energies of one another, we feel them. And it's different kinds of collectives, but this is a collective of ascended people, right? The same way you have like a collective of demonic people, right? You have So in this collective, we feel. So because we think and we feel in assimilated bodies, like this is an avatar, meaning that this has so many similarities through the biorhythm. That's why it's so easy to tap into one another, because we share the same experiences during this life's journey through this avatar. So when you become sensitive to that, you realize the importance of sharing. So that was good.
Excuse me.
Number 2, from me, when life is forcing change and you feel the universe has you at a standstill, willfully stop yourself and find the major arcana of the Virgo, which is Hermit. Right? Hermit is understanding and divine inspiration. Okay, so when life is forcing you to change, right? And no matter what you're trying to do, it's a standstill or a hamster's wheel, right? You have to willfully stop yourself and find the Hermit arcana, right? And I feel like it's perfect that this came out during Virgo season. When we find a Hermit, we begin to understand. So the energy of understanding is the ability to overstand and coming from a point of understanding, right? That's kind of hard to follow. I'm going to break it down real quick. So we begin to understand when we start reflecting inwardly. See, you have to it's a darkness within that requires light to be shed or light to become transformative through these darknesses. So when you're dealing with the Hermit arcana, you willfully stopping yourself and you willfully putting yourself in a position where first you understand you the problem. You can't find a Hermit without saying that. Because see, when you look on a Hermit card, right? These downloads are from a spread I pulled specifically for these downloads. The Hermit has a lamp on every card, right? He has a lamp that shines into the darkness. This is the arcana that we find when you're talking about ourselves, right? The Hermit arcana is you looking in first. Like I said, you start with you being the problem in your life, right? Not external forces, you. Because finding the Hermit requires you to look at yourself. So you begin to shed light on aspects of yourself that are dark, right? And they require light to be shed on them. So light can become transformative. If you don't transform, you're not going to catch the message that the universe is giving you. That's why a lot of us run in place. Or a lot of us get into these cycles where we end up at the same spot over and over again, right? It's because we don't find our Hermit. You have to find a Hermit. And you find wisdom and you find enlightenment when you find Hermit. And the reason being is because you willfully now, you willing yourself to receive what's called divine inspiration when you find a Hermit. Your understanding is going to lead you to a place where you know that what you understood ain't going to hold you, right? That's in the Hermit. When you in your Hermit, you realize, damn, some of the things I relied on are shaky, right? They not going to be solid moving forward. So then you begin to understand, and then when you come to a place you overstand, that means that you came out of understanding to a place where now you connected to the divine, which is the upper world, the overworld. Your understanding is now packed with divine inspiration because you found a Hermit, and that's necessary. It's going to be required for true growth, right? You have to do what most of us don't want to do, because, like, you know, when somebody tell you that you're moving wrong, it's not easy for anybody to accept. It don't matter who God put in your life to tell you that. That's a message that's not going to be easily received. So you know who you have to allow to tell you? Spirit. You have to hear with the ear of spirit. That spirit is telling you it's you. You got areas in you that's dark and they need light shed on them. You can't grow. You can't be full of all of these different things and grow to a point beyond that. The divine, it wouldn't be justice to allow that. So find your hermit and find the understanding that comes along with it. It leads to divine inspiration.
Very good. Okay. So, you know, I was scrolling through Facebook today, very, very briefly. It was literally, I'm going to be honest with you, we got home pretty late. So it was probably for about 2 minutes that I was scrolling. And as I scrolled, I came across a post that someone shared, and I was like, okay, I have to speak on this because someone shared this post and someone else is sharing this post and someone else is going to share this post, and it's a trick, okay? So first and foremost, evil really wants to trick us into thinking that our life is worthless, but we all have a path and we all have divine gifts and divine powers. It's time for you to tap into yours, right? Some of us already know that we have gifts, and you know, some decide to do the wrong things with them, but I'm talking to our collective of divine people that really want to use their gifts in the right way. So what I read was, it said, this is what I read on Facebook. It says, sometimes I just sit here and cry like life was never supposed to be like this. And when I read this, I was, I was like, well, I have to speak on this because, you know, God sent me here to be a speaker, a motivator, someone to encourage you. And maybe you feel like this too, right? Maybe you feel like sometimes I just sit here and cry because life was never supposed to be like this, right? Maybe you could be in this energy. I feel like it's very significant for me to speak about this. But I'm here to tell you, to me, that is very negative word magic. See, the energy of evil will use any kind of way to spread negativity. And when we get into this message, I think it's very important to speak about, you know, even if you are in this energy, you are still here and you still have breath. You still have breath in you, which means you still have an opportunity, right? When God is ready for the cycle to be ended, then cycle ends, right? But it is our duty to have a vision and pray that God leads our paths. The reason it has become so hard is because we refuse to let go of things. We refuse to surrender or even to offer up something in our own lives that would even help us. And we get stuck. And Spirit is saying it's time to stand up, right? So, you know, a lot of times we sit in this energy and feel like, oh, my life is not supposed to be like this. Well, get up and do something, right? Because Spirit is saying that every day that you wake up and you have an opportunity, see, because remember that time is a divine gift. So every time that God wakes us up each day, right, we should be so thankful, right? We should be so thankful and looking for a way to find something positive about the day. Because remember, there's some people that just literally won't be here tomorrow, right? They won't even be able to hear this message that I'm saying right now, right? I'm talking to a divine being that sometimes you allow word magic, even your own, to influence your mind, right? The demonic thoughts that you have, right? Not knowing, what side of the fence you want to be on, because you're consumed here and you're consumed here. You're trapped by this and you're bound by this, right? But you claim you want true freedom. Well, Spirit is saying, watch the words that go into your brain, right? The things that you're thinking about, and begin to create opportunities, because God is giving you time so that you can create opportunities for yourself, right? See, the only way you don't have opportunity is if you don't have breath. Every time you breathe, you have opportunity to change your timeline, right? It's like every decision that you make changes your timeline, right? So if you sit there and consciously think that, oh, my life is not supposed to be like this, and you get stuck in that energy, then that energy will consume you. But what about if you start thinking about, you know what? I feel like my life is not supposed to be like this, so let me get up and do something to change this, right? It's like that kind of energy, right? You could be in the energy of depression. And, I've been there before. I remember days I didn't even want to brush my hair. I didn't want to brush my goddamn teeth. I didn't want to fix my kids' food because I was stuck in the spirit of depression, right? But that my life, and I felt the same way, my life isn't supposed to be like this, right? And I would tell myself, my life is not supposed to be like this. I'm not supposed to be in this dark room. I don't even like the curtains to be dark. I like a bright room. I'm not supposed to be in this bed. I'm supposed to be up and doing something. I'm not supposed to be eating this in the bed right here, right now, right? It's like that kind of energy. And you know what I had to tell myself? I had to tell myself, okay, my life is not supposed to be like this, so I have to do something to change it here. Right? That's the message. You got to do something to change it, divine being. Right? Your life is supposed to be whatever you desire. Right? Whatever you desire, and God will bless it abundantly. Right? But you have to take a step. Right?
Before I go into the next download, I want to say something that Spirit gave me earlier. Contrary to what we believe, you don't make your decisions in the universe. You make the decisions in your life. Your intentions are what makes the decision in this universe. So, that may be a big scope for someone to accept. But if you truly are moving into ascension, that should bring an aha moment for you. Because, see, we think that we make decisions by what we say, what we declare, and what we think. It's not. Your intentions is what's going to make a decision for you in regards to the universe. The universe responds to frequency. And that's why we all have such a hard time sometimes. Because we make decisions. And we stand on the decisions that we make, but our intentions are contrary. So the universe is responding to our intent. Meanwhile, we stuck in the position of our decision because we don't have the understanding that I have to change my intent, or my decision is leading me back. Like it's like full circle. So moving on. Working on oneself truly requires efforts that involve the elements, the magician arcana. Although you have true divine energy, you have to have faith and foresight to understand that you don't have the understanding of knowing how to shift your emotions. The law of karma states that we cannot exist in two states of mind at once. Be one who is willing yourself to see the star, right? These are the two arcana that were in the spread, the magician and the star. The magician arcana works with the elements. Okay? Now, the elements in your life are the things that you connect to and through emotionally, right? This is how we, so to speak, affect the elements in our life with emotional energy. Energy that's in motion, right? And this is not the microcosmic view of how your emotions influence the elements. I'm going to tell you how. When we mad, like High Priestess said earlier, she lost it. Quite possibly because she allowed anger to sift in. Anger is a powerful emotion. And when anger shows up in us, it's very unlikely that you can disguise the energy of anger, particularly from an enlightened person. Anger is very aggressive. And oftentimes, even when we can still and restrain our facial expression can't hold back anger, the locking of the jaw, the breaking of the rhythm, right? So when we dealing with our emotions and we dealing with divine energy, we got to begin to understand that I don't have I'm not giving without seeking the knowledge to know how to shift my emotions or the power of that. That's the magician. That's an arcana, right? That is you stepping into a different type of let's say training. You know why? Because now you realize my magic ain't gonna work or my power not gonna work unless I get control of my energy, right? Because if your energy is moving in one way, your power not gonna move, and your power going where energy go, power go. So when you effectively doing something, you have to realize it's my energy. I don't understand because I'm not looking at my energy. That's what this download is about. Because we divine enough, we got divine energy, but we don't have the faith and the foresight to understand. It's like faith is like believing in, you know what they say, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things that's unseen. So faith is a powerful energy that consists of nothing you can see in the 3D, but it's powerful because it said it's the evidence of things hoped for and the substance of things unseen. So that means if I got faith in this lighter, that faith going to show up one day and become evidence, and that means I'm going to be able to see it, right? And foresight is the ability to look beyond what the eye can perceive in the 3D and see deeper. This is what the Spirit is saying to us. The law of karma says that we cannot exist in two states of mind at once. This is so big if you can receive it. Receive what is being said. It's like this. I want to go forward, but I'm stuck in the past. Right? You got to find a way to balance out what's sticking you in the past and moving forward and compartmentalize them, because Spirit is not saying that we can't have two states of mind. Spirit is saying we cannot exist in two states, in two places at once. From a common value, you can't, that's not attracting, that's repelling. All right, what am I saying to somebody? I'm saying this to you. Relationships of the past, right? Energies from the past and other things that hindered you from the future that you most want. When you spend time thinking about them or acting on them, you're not existing in the energy of forward progression. You're being manifested back to the place of lack, whether by a person or by a spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Because see, what's happening is you too focus on the people that did you wrong. Meanwhile, it's spirits that's finessing you. It's not the people that did you wrong. You're being spiritually finessed.
You fight against principalities
and wickedness and high place. That'd be hard for somebody to accept because they too busy looking at the person. But you got to realize it's a spiritual thing. Spirits will be finessing us to be wrong. They take hold of people. Sure, they come through people, but do you realize that it can be 5 people acting from the energy of one entity in your life?
One spirit.
It can be one entity and 5 people are acting from the same energy of one entity.
You know, and to elaborate on that, that's why, you know, you ever dated someone and, you know, you could have dated 2 people and you be like, you know, why do they act the same? It's not that they act the same, it's the same spirit, right? Because we fight against spirits, and a lot of times we have that spirit within us that we need to fight, and until we conquer and destroy that demon within ourselves, you're going to find the same energy over and over again, right?
Oh, and to go deeper, the law of karma says we cannot exist in 2 places at one time. What keeps us existing in a place that we don't want to exist in? When we respond to the energy that's put forth. You should. All right, what am I saying? If, let's say I had a past lover, or let's say I had a past friend, and spirit done moved me away, and they done cleaned me up, and they done severed the cord, right? That means spirit makes you non-existent, okay? Now, what happens is, you go back, and you talk to that person. You take yourself away from your future. You know why? Because you can't exist in your future and back there. The minute you respond, they call you, right? Now, spirit done separated you. You're not there no more. And now they calling. The minute you pick up and talk, you allow yourself to exist in that place. You can't get what's supposed to go forward.
That's right.
Because why? You allow yourself to exist, so there you exist. The minute you talk, you're existing there. The minute you respond, you allow yourself to exist. The law of karma says we can't do that. We only can exist in one place at one time. So you have to allow yourself to be non-existent to those things. When they bring up your name, it's not effectual in the frequency of the universe. You know why? There is no response from you. So the universe is not treating it. Please feel this. Even bad demons can't find you through a you know why? Because you're not existent in the frequency no more. You told the universe that I want to live and exist in a future time. So what the universe does, it responds to it, right? Now, you there. All you got to do is keep moving.
Keep staying that energy.
When you go back and respond, you telling the universe that you're not done. You exist back there now.
That's right.
So that's a blockage. And it could create a very negative karma. You know why? The universe, when the deities instruct the universe, when God tell a universe to go in motion, a thing in motion is going to do what? Stay in motion.
That's right.
That's the laws of the universe, bruh. A thing in motion is going to stay in motion. So if you put yourself in motion to go forward, and you look forward, you going forward. Now if you look back, you started another motion now. Now you going back and you can't get forward. Why? Because you put a thing in motion. Okay? So allow yourself to go towards North Node aspect of life. Your desires, things that are pleasing, the abundance that comes with higher self. And move towards that. And don't be distracted. And remind yourself to look for the star. And I'm feeling real aligned with this download, because where do stars exist? They exist in the elevated point, right? When we look for stars, right, what do you look up? When you see stars, when you look up and see a star, you know what we all share the energy of? Seeing something that is beyond, it's fascinating. No matter how you look at it, right? It breeds a sense of fascination. More so when we were children. You know how it was when we was kids. You lay down, you look up at the stars. It becomes fascinating. And that's because that's where spirit wants us to focus on. That kind of energy, right? That upward movement. That was a download.
Good energy. So, we're going to move on. That was good. Very deep. Okay. So, I know that was deep and good. So, I'm going to just go a little light. Alright. So, mine. Music is intentional. Okay? It's actually designed by the Most High to move both the spirit and the mind. Okay? In the energy of the Bible, Corinthians 14 and 15, what am I to do? I will pray with my spirit, but I will pray with my mind. I will sing with my spirit, but I will sing with my, let me see. Oh, I'm sorry. I had two. You know how sometimes it has two different translations. I will sing with the spirit and I will sing with the understanding, right? So music is very, very influential. And I think it's very important to speak about how the energy of music is very, very intentional. I noticed since I've been on my spiritual journey, I'm a girl from Baltimore and I love trap music. I love it. Like, you know, that is a lot of what I listened to growing up. Even as females, that's what we listened to, you know, when I was growing up. So I really, really I don't know, I think it's more so the beat because I'm a beat person. But, you know, some of the stuff they were saying, it was slick, right? So I'm a person that's, I really enjoy music. And I was thinking about how influential music is. You know, I listen to some of the stuff my children listen to, other children listen to, and I'm like, wow, you know, it's kind of crazy, you know, how music is so influential. And I felt like, you know, it was very important to talk about this. You know, I feel like it's so easy to attach evil to music because it's a vibration that evil is familiar and associated with. See, the energy of Satan was known to be, you know, made of maybe musical instruments and, you know, was known and associated with music. So I feel like, you know, the energy
actually made of a harp.
A harp. There we go. So I feel like it was very important to speak about how music is very influential to us. And I feel like as a collective, we need to make sure that we are choosing music that really vibrates in our soul and in our hearts, okay, and that have meaning. Also, I wanted to speak about, you know, chants, okay? Chants are very good for prayer and worship, but be careful of chants when you don't understand what's being said, right? Like that kind of energy. Because when we pray and when we sing, it should be with understanding, right? So be mindful of the things that you are taking in, divine being, because I'll tell you, I know me, right? I watch myself. When I put on trap music, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to turn up. What you want to do? You know, I'm probably ready to, you know, whatever. It's whatever, right? It's like that kind of energy, you know. It really gets me in the energy of like, it's a negativity. I'm going to just say what it is. You know, it feels good in the 3D to have this feeling, but it's a negativity. Why? Because this energy drives me to maybe want to fight. This energy drives me to maybe even want to drink or do things that I normally wouldn't do, right? Because the words are very influential. And we can say, oh, well, it doesn't affect me. Well, the studies show that it does affect the human brain, music, right? Also, music is intentional. It was designed by God to be intentional, right? And I noticed that when I cut on, you know, like gospel music, or music of inspiration, something with a good vibration that really moves my spirit, I feel so much better. You can go ahead.
Basically what she was saying, what she's saying, just to add to it, right? Music invokes spirit. Music invokes ancestors, right? And to prove it to you, when you have songs that are powerful enough to transition through the ages or reverberate, should I say? Like you know, like Osley Brothers or Teddy. The reason why these things do that is because when we listen to them, they vibrate through an ancestral rhythm. It's a channel. Now, that's in a small scale. Now, when you think about music invoking spirit, when people embrace songs, right? Like, let's say trap music, right? You know why these songs are so full of that kind of energy? Because of the things that people do to the songs. That's how energy works, y'all. If a song come out, right, and it hit the world and everybody doing the same thing, right, that song is going to be full of that energetic perspective. And when you put it on, it's going to invoke all of the spirits that come along with that. Now, in regards to music, it's always good, even for her. It's good to tap into trap music every now and then. You know why? It allows you to see what's going on. What's not good is when you make that your everyday diet. When you consume what you know is not good for you every day, it's only one thing that it can do: weaken you. Think about, would you eat candy every day and expect to be strong? You can't. That's the same way with music. She's not saying, you heard her say when I put on the trap music. She puts on the trap music, but it's temperance, you know, it's of her personality. We put the trap on, we down, we bees in the trap. We in the trap. But then, all right, that's enough of that. Let's come back out, go back to Chantre Sebo or Malte Martin or something that's more in alignment with the life that we live in. But that don't mean to run around and we gonna knock trap music. No, if we knock trap music, how we gonna be in the trap? How we gonna be relative to the trap if we knock trap music? It's about a balance. Just wanted to add that. Number 3. When it's hard to push past a certain blockage, it dulls the mind. A dull mind wait a minute. When it's hard to push past a certain blockage, it dulls the mind. A dull mind is a blockage, particularly when it comes to divine intuition. Pray for confidence. Pray for the adaptability that allows you to transform and to receive your spiritual inheritance. Okay. Now, when it's hard to push past blockages, they dull the mind, right? Why does it dull the mind? If I'm contended with something that's blocking me, right, it breeds on a mentally fatigue. And then it makes us dull. And what happens then? We allow the blockers to sit there simply because we tired of trying to fight it from a mental perspective. And when we let blockages sit there, they block our divine intuition. So what do we need to get past these kind of blockages? Prayer for confidence and prayer for adaptability. Because in order for us to receive what Spirit truly has, we have to adapt to what Spirit is trying to give us. See, we taught and trained to think a different way. This way is sometimes contrary to what Spirit bringing in. So we had to pray for adaptability. And see, a lot of that comes with ascending and realizing that it's not for me to let go of my faith because I'm trying to ascend. It's for me to get a greater understanding of my faith, right? Adaptability. When you adapt, it allows you to transform. It allows you to get into a place where, okay, I can receive now what Spirit is trying to give me. I'm not confused now. It's not, you know how they tell you, don't go in them rooms, they evil in them rooms. Or, you know, then you realize as you begin to age, okay, in order for me to transform, I'm going to have to go in them rooms because I have to gain an inheritance that Spirit gave me. So it's not that you living and going to areas that are forbidden, right? You're going to areas that you were forbidden. See how that's different? It's not that an area is forbidden by mankind. It's that mankind is forbidden to go in areas by what? A lot of it is limited belief systems and religious aspects. We got to begin to transcend religious barriers, right? Or we not going to be adequate to receive, y'all. Like Spirit is trying to build us into adequate beings through our inadequacy. Because a lot of stuff, man, we not even, we haven't become adaptable enough to receive it, right? Like one thing, our connection to Egypt, many of us, we don't know what that means, but I'm in the next download. So you might want to tell a friend to catch the next download that I come with did today, right after her, because it's going to talk about being connected to Egypt and what does that mean, and what does it mean, right? When you're talking about the energy of melanin, and what is melanin, and where does it come from? What's the source of it? Any melanated being could quite possibly be connected back to Egypt. It's such a reason for these things, right? But nevertheless, the blockages, right, they cause our mind to become dull. And once the mind is dull, you can't receive the interference. You can't get the transmission. You can't really elevate to the place where the Spirit is trying to take you. So allow yourself to be in prayer about confidence. Pray to your God. Pray to your energy or whatever you believe in. But pray for the confidence to transcend the barriers that hold you. Because as long as they hold you, I'm feeling Spirit is putting these downloads because a lot of people are just running in place. You got the energy going on where you're not feeling like you can move. So let's get this thing back together, y'all. That was the download.
Good energy. Okay. So my next download is just going to be straight from an experience that I've had, and maybe you guys have had this experience too. And if you haven't, I want you to be on the lookout for these type of experiences and how to handle them. Okay. So the other day we were moving around. We do a lot of work in the 3D. So a lot of our work is in the physical with real people. We do this work every single day. So when I was telling you guys earlier that I flipped out, it's really major for you to know me holding myself accountable, because I would consider myself to be a leader, right? And, I feel like as a leader, I'm dedicated to God to let you guys know when I make mistakes, right? And anyway, this particular download happened the other day. We were out and about, and I had gone to the restroom, and I typically dress pretty much the same way every day. I dress how I dress, right? Which typically can, cause some, attraction or whatever. So I go into the bathroom, and when I go into the bathroom and I come out to wash my hands, I could feel the energy. I can always feel energy when someone is staring at me. So I felt the energy that I was being looked at, but I refused to look at this energy. You ever refuse to look at an energy, like you can feel it just burning you, but you refuse to acknowledge the energy? So that's what I was doing. And it was a very strong energy. So I'm washing my hands. And as I'm washing my hands, I'm in my normal wear, representing spirit. And I'm washing my hands, and one part of me is saying, look up, but my spirit is saying, no, don't look, right? And so I continue to wash my hands, but being human like I am, I looked up in the mirror, and when I looked up in the mirror, I seen this lady staring at me. Well, mind you, I'm dressed like I'm dressed. I'm always in bright feathers, all kinds of concoctions going on, right? I'm very bright. You can see me. And this particular lady was dressed in all black, and there's nothing wrong with being dressed in all black. I love it. But I could feel the spirit, right?
Darkness.
It was dark. Now, I know the difference between a dark and a light spirit. And I knew the spirit was dark because initially my head wanted to go up in my human nature, but my spirit knew not to. I wasn't ready to address the energy that was coming to me. So the energy, I feel this person looking at me, and my human nature, I turn. And when I turn, this energy says, oh, I like your look. I said, thank you. And she said, is it a special occasion or is this every day? And I said, it's every day. It's just how I dress. And she said, oh, okay. Well, you have a good day, right?
Oh, pause. But what happened though? But what was actually happening?
It was, that's what
I know.
So it was a spiritual exchange that happened, right? See, what was happening was I was approached by the energy of evil, and evil wanted to know if it was an act that I was, if it was a part that I was playing, or if this is really my life. See, evil wanted to see if I was going to say that this was some kind of costume, or, I'm just dressed up for my network, because, evil wants to see. Evil's going to push you there, to see where your heart really lies, right? And when I approached it, I was very confident, and I said it was every day, because it is. If you catch me in the streets, this is how you see me. And I feel like, I aced the test this day. I guess the reason why I feel like it's important for me to tell you guys is pay attention to the spirit of things when you're moving around throughout your day, right? See, a lot of times there is different spirits that approach us, and we don't understand that we're being approached by these spirits, and they want specific things. See, if I would have answered and said that, oh no, it's a special occasion, then that would have been letting the energy of evil know that I don't really believe in what I do. I don't really practice what I preach, right? That kind of energy. So you could be faced with these kind of energies, divine being. Make sure you're standing 10 toes down, right? Stand for something so that you don't fall for nothing. Know exactly who you are when you're approached, because I told you guys, we keep telling you, it's World War III, it's spiritual, right? We fight against principalities and evilness in high places, right? Wickedness in high places. So be mindful of the energies you are encountering, and be confident in speaking when you're asked specific questions, especially when it comes to who you are and what you stand for.
That's so real. This next download is very informative, and it's full of a lot of strong information. So prayerfully you all can receive this. With all your negative attachments, Spirit is saying, learn to center yourself in nature. Raise your hands and offer the Yada. The Yada praise is the hands open, and Yada is a form of letting go and receiving as well. It's more or less surrender. The Anunnaki are the Egyptian pantheon. Chosen ones are directly related to this energy. Now, that is very strong. Like, when you're dealing with the energy of the Anunnaki and who they were, they are very much depicted through the pantheons of mankind, right? Now, the most vivid and illustrious depiction of the Anunnaki is the Egyptian pantheon, right? when pharaohs and kings and different energies were chosen, they were always divine according to their relation to these beings known as the Anu, or the beings that came from heaven to earth, Anunnaki. Now, the brown-skinned Indian, particularly indigenous tribes of North America, they were in North America a lot longer than the lighter seed of Native American. They were composed of many different exiled tribes or nations in a wilderness known as North America, which is what it is and what it was and what it will be when this all passes. North America, 196,940,000 square miles of land, is wilderness. The people that were here prior to the lighter-skinned Indian, they were indigenous people who were often exiled to this wilderness from Africa, some even from as far away as China. They were exiled to this land we know as North America. They became indigenous. And what they did, y'all, it was a spectacular thing. They began to combine all of their religious concepts, theologies, and principles into one big, conglomeration of, I can say, maybe, I don't know. It was basically different cultures exiled to one land. Before Indians, y'all, way before the Indians that they say were here first, people were being exiled here. From Ethiopia, from Madrid, from Beijing, all of these areas, they had exiles that were already in North America. Mind you, it was a wilderness, y'all. This is a wilderness we live in. So they begin to compose different ideals because it was about now everybody being on one land, right? So everybody had to begin to understand God from an agreeable perspective because God was on the land, this built tribe, right? These are indigenous people dominated by the brown-skinned population on North America. These people had ways of travel. See, you got to realize a lot of the exiles at the time, they weren't being brought here by boat. They were being brought through the inner workings of the earth, through tunnels and all of that. This is way before where history starts with us. See, history starts with us with a bunch of Indians running around that really didn't have a lot of technological advancement. When that's the absolute false truth.
Lies.
The first indigenous tribes that were here, they was technology at its finest. Like I said, they could travel from the Grand Canyon to Africa. Internally, though. No boats, no flying. They knew the inner workings of the terrain. They were people that were very much in tune with the terrain and how to move about through the core of the earth. You know why? A lot of this was because the Anu, the Anunnaki, they took up residency in the center of the earth. This is where they went. So, a lot that goes along with that. But us being spawns of these people, many of us are now living in what's known as prophecy. Your life is prophetic. Many people, many now. And I don't know why 2024 is so specifically designed to unveil these truths about people. Wow. And that's the reason why a lot of people are so confused, right? Particularly baneful witches, they attacking people and they've been normally used to attacking, and now it doesn't work now. It's like, yo, what's going on? It's because a lot of our ancestors, they casted was known as protection spells before we were born. Why? They were attached to the prophecy of your birth. No, they may not have seen you physically, but remember, our ancestors were master they were master diviners. They could say, they could reincarnate at will. Believe that. Some of them back, when you look at least 500, not even that long, let's just say 200 generations ago, our people were so technologically advanced that, and I mean spiritually, that they can say, I'm going to transition from this avatar on this day, but I'll be back in 200 generations.
Look how many births have been prophesized, right? Like that kind of energy.
And you come into the world like with this protection magic on you. So none of the baneful shit works. Why? Because many of us have awakened to the call. What is to awaken to the call? If you are a baby of prophecy, right? Then quite possibly you went through a lot of stuff that ain't got nothing to do with your prophecy. Spiritual and everything. Found yourself in a lot of different sects of religion. Some of y'all could be Satanists. Some of y'all could be Christians. It doesn't matter. Your call is bigger than all that. It's bigger than all that, right? Now, say you find yourself trapped in Satanism or Christianity or Islam or Judaism. Say you've been trapped in all of these things, right? But you caught by Egypt, right? You caught by prophecy through your ancestors, right? As long as you don't awaken to that call, the devil got you. But the minute you awaken, every protection spell that's ever been invoked, it enhances itself. Because now your ancestors are creating a lane for you to reach prophecy. Don't forfeit your own prophecy by not becoming adaptable. It's funny, man. You know what it's taking me back to? When Sis wrote it, we had heard a reading where we came up in it when we first started our journey, right? And it was funny about my energy because the reader was like, I don't know what's going on. She was like, all I see is this one night out here without a horse or anything. And then she was like, and this Hierophant, he done got up out the grave. It was crazy because it was like, I know I was all but graveyard bound according to my actions. The minute that I awoke into the prophecy that surrounds my life, it began to usher me into a whole nother energetic field. It's timeline jumping, it's quantum physics, it's whatever you want to label it. But in reality, it's you waking up to who you're supposed to be in this dimension. The Anunnaki are the same as the Egyptian pantheon. That's the download. So even start there, Anunnaki. Many of you heard that word, but now a lot of you are feeling that connection. So that's not something that's to be ignored, right? If you feel yourself being called from within yourself, you would think you would want to answer that call, right? You hear me? I said, if you feel yourself being called from something that's deeper within yourself, you would want to answer to that call. Because to ignore it is detrimental. That was the download.
That was good. Okay. So how many we have left? Let me see.
I got one left.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. So, okay. Have you ever been trying to pray and feel like your mind wanders with a million thoughts in the middle of your prayer? I know I have, right? And, you know, before ascending and really being able to focus my mind, I thought this would help someone with maybe anxiety or, you know, just a scattered brain or, you know, just, you know, when you get down to pray, your mind gets so consumed because, you know, maybe it's just hard for you to focus. But anyway, it says, where we at? I have, our mind has limits to what we can hold at once. Let's see. If we go into prayer thinking about other things, it will be difficult to focus. Okay? This is prayer and meditation, right? Another approach could also be, right, I've been learning to see things with more than one perspective, because I can be a person that is very, strong with my opinion, right? I could be like, no, I know that this is the right way. So I've been trying to, being able to look at different perspectives and things. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe maybe it's not so bad that your mind wanders, right? Because maybe it could be this, right? So I wrote, let's see. Our mind has limits to what we can hold on to at one time. If we go into prayer thinking about things, it'll be difficult to focus. Another approach would be to not look at these thoughts as something separate from your prayer. If we shift our perspective, we can look at it as this is genuine. This is genuinely me, and I'm coming before God to actually include my thoughts in my prayer. The only thing that matters is that we continue to pray with pure intentions in your heart. And I feel like there's someone that could be really struggling with focusing while praying, and it's nothing but the energy of evil. Evil wants to distract you, destroy you, and to steal from you. So I feel like it's very important to go in with pure intentions. Spirit is wanting me to inform you, maybe start setting little things up for yourself. Like, let's say this, before you go in to pray, get some soap, wash your hands, right? Maybe take a white washcloth and wash your face off, right? We need to start doing things we need to be intentional with the things that we're doing, right? I know for so long I live without really being intentional. So I'm talking to someone that maybe is like I was, right? Maybe you need to be more intentional with the things that you are doing, right? But begin, if you are this person, because this is someone's energy, right? And I felt like Spirit is really wanting me to talk about energies specifically that were really hindering me, right? So this is going to help someone free themselves, right? Begin to go in with clear intentions, no worries, and wash your hands, wash your face off, and just go in with clear thoughts, and speak specifically about what you want, what you desire, what you want to talk about. But make sure that you go in with pure intentions in your heart, and don't think of, what evil will do is, see, I remember being down there and praying, right? And evil will take your mind over here and over here. See, evil wants you to just stop it. Oh, I can't even remember. No, keep going. God, allow me to be focused, right? Allow me to be focused. Allow me to hear only from you, right? Allow me.
Not to cut. I wanted to chime in when she said, "Allow me to hear." Understand that the energy of prayer is not always talking. Mm-hmm. Sometimes our mind we are talking to God, like God bless me, God. But sometimes prayer is listening.
Yep, hearing what God is trying to tell us. So yeah, hearing, that's very important that he emphasized on the hearing. A lot of times we just need to hear what God is saying to us so that we can make the next move. Because again, our decisions do alter our timeline, right? So if you are struggling with prayer, try to, wash your hands, wash your face, and really be focused, right? Go in with pure intentions. And if you find yourself becoming distracted, don't stop praying. Just, ask God to guide you, to hold you, and to keep you right there as long as you need to be there.
Before I go, I do want to say this last one, and Spirit just gave it to me. Be aware of the energy that you're resting in, and find your respective area. Meaning, and for my males, a lot of us spend a lot of time and feminine energy, and we don't realize it. See, we think that feminine energy means gay or homosexual energy. That's not, that is a feminine energy, but that's not essentially what feminine energy is. Feminine energy is also moon energy. You know what moon energy is? Hidden things. So if you are a man that lives a life that requires you to lie a lot, you're in feminine energy a lot, right? Because masculine energy is to not lie, but to speak out truth. Now, for my women, a lot of divine feminines, you spend a lot of time in masculine energy and not aware of it. Because women think masculine energy means being a dom and all that. That's a masculine energy, but again, it's more deeper than sexuality. If you are a woman that looks at the universe as a place that you have to lead in, right? And I mean, in every aspect, I have a lot of independent women that rest in masculine energy. That's not your respective area, though. So that may work if you are alone. It'll never work if you are with a man, because the spaces have to be occupied. If you are a woman and you meet every challenge in life with a competitive nature or a challenge, that puts you in masculine energy. And it can get to the point where you rest in that energy, right? And that can off-center you, because it's not meant to rest in masculine energy. Like, it's not meant for, even if you're a woman that's in sports and you compete there, that's the arena that you compete in. I'm talking about spirit and life. Like, if you are a woman and you are a woman that will challenge, you are not moving in feminine energy optimal. Let me tell you why. Optimal feminine energy moves silently. It doesn't move when you're dealing with loud noise, chaos, confusion, combat. That's masculine energy. The feminine energy is, in the Bible it says in the old days they were to keep the silence, not keep silent. That's not saying be shut up. That ain't saying that. That's demeaning. Keep the silence means that the algorithm of femininity is connected to the universe, right? So what that means is that if a woman emotions are undercurrent that develop before the expression is shown forward. So what we feel essentially bubbles before it even reach our face. So as a woman, the simulation becomes the aspect of womanhood where a woman can innately know that my power lies in my ability to respond through the energy of silence. That's always going to be the power, because we can't essentially charge each other by meeting each other like this. And this is with yourself in the universe or with a counterpart. This is simple. So for my men and for my women, we both got respect. We have to find out how to right now. This is the catch. We both are required to live in both energies. You have, as a woman, you have to have masculine energy to have balance, and as a man, you have to have feminine energy. But you have to find a place to comfortably rest in them. Like, take for instance, a lot of women, right? They'll do things that require masculine energy. Like what? Knitting, cleaning up. The energy behind that is actually masculine. It's how the feminine rests in her masculine energy. Did you know that? Like when a woman grabs something, or it's like high priestess might go get the writing, or she might go get to working in her mind, or she might go get the doing anything. She might go get the cleaning up. She might go get the rearranging or whatever, right? This is her resting in her masculine energy. And for my men, You know, when you sitting back and you thinking and you reflecting and you creating, that's feminine. To create is feminine energy. Anytime you're creating something, you are in feminine energy, right? So what happens when two people comfortably learn how to rest with the balance? Then you have a house where the man is occupied and the woman is occupied. And both of them are occupied with the opposite energetic perspective. Ain't that slick? It's like the man is chilling. He may be writing, he may be thinking, he may be watching sports. See, all of this is feminine energy. Let me tell you why. It requires thought and creation. Now, when a woman is doing things with her hands, like I'm having a vision of my great grandmother, Ruth Brooks, playing with her knitting ball, right? And fixing her machine that she knit things on. All that's masculine energy. Although it's a feminine, we look at it as a feminine practice, it's coming from craft, hands, manifestation, masculine. Right? So learn how to balance the two. Learn how to exist and learn how to have balance from an energetic perspective. Lesson, you will continue to collide with the other energetic field. Lesson, you find a respectable balance. See, as a man, you will always feel like you gotta lie your way out of every situation unless you learn how to balance that out. That's imbalanced femininity. When we start living like that, it's because we too used to living in the energy of the feminine. And a woman, you gotta challenge everything and be loud and vocal and other. That means that you need to balance out that masculinity. It's too you there too, you rest there too long. And a lot of it does come from childhood traumas or reliving past trauma. Like we watch our parents do this. Some of us, we watch our old heads do this. Some of us, or we just been living around the hood where everybody do it. But loving the left is a learned behavior, right? And then it becomes an ineffective practice. We slip into these realms and get comfortable. A man in 3D should never be comfortable living more in the feminine than the masculine. A woman in the 3D should not be more comfortable in her masculine than her feminine. Although we have to exist in those energies, one should dominate your perspective. If you're a woman, it should be dominated by the feminine perspective. If you're man, it should be dominated by the masculine perspective. And able to bend and rest in the coexistent energies.
That was good.
Informative.
All right. So this is my last one that I have for the evening. We make ourselves unhappy because we won't accept the pain that comes from being detached to things, people, and feelings in our lives. We crave things that make us miserable when we don't get them. We love people whose death causes us pain when they die. According to the Buddhist, the only way to find peace is to abandon our attachment to our desires, hopes, and dreams. And I find this to be very true. We let so many things hold us back from what living really means. It's time to live your life, divine being, and be willing to let go of everything so that you can have everything. That was your message.
We love you all. See you soon. Ashe to the ancestors. All praise to the Most High. God bless you all.
Thank you guys for joining.